Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Mother's House Podcast, and I am Deshaun.
What's going on? What's going on? Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. What up with my cousin?
Chilling. What's up with you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Austin, Texas, bomber has been caught.
Yeah.
He's dead, so they say, and they had finally caught the culprit that caused a lot of these packages bombings in Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna talk about it real quick. Sean, when you heard this story about these packages bombers, and granted a lot of prominent black families have been targeted, due to these packages bombers. A lot of so I think it was like four black folks died. Mm-hmm. I think a total of 6 people got killed due to these bombers. 4 black people, one 17-year-old black boy, also a Latino woman, and a white guy. When you first heard this story, how did you feel about it? What did you know about it? And did it, the whole thing about terrorists, you know what I'm saying? Because this is very much of a terroristic attack on black bodies, on black people. How did this make you feel? You know what I'm saying?
I wondered who was behind it, and it made me concerned for the people in that area in Austin.
Right.
It made me really question, why would they do it? I'm concerned with the motive, what's making you send these packages to these people in particular, to these prominent black people in Austin. So it did make me just kind of wonder, what's behind all of this and who's behind all of this.
Okay. Well, according to I guess CNN, what headline you read? I think it was CNN. I saw it on. It says that they captured Mark Anthony or Anthony Mark.
I think it's Mark Anthony. Yeah.
Yeah. Conditt is the suspect that caused a lot of these bombs. He ended up dying from a explosive blast. It also gives you a little form, and I know we just talked about conspiracy. A little conspiracy can be pulled from this. Mm-hmm. The whole thing that, these bombs were sophisticatedly made. You know what I'm saying? They were delivered to people's homes without exploding. These bombs were, exploded to, people opening up a package and explode. You know what I'm saying? There was too much. You got to be somewhat an expert, and this guy is like a 20-year-old unemployed white male. Made me think. I don't think he's the true culprit.
Okay. So you think there are more people behind it?
I think it was somebody a lot more skilled. Okay. I really do think it's somebody a lot more skilled than this guy.
Do you think he had anything to do with it?
He probably did. He probably did. I don't know. But I think it's a lot more to the story than what they're telling. The story has not been told on the mainstream media. It kind of not been shown. And it probably is then start getting leeway on this mainstream media level until, some white people start getting hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's also shows and they still won't, they're not going to label this thing as a terrorist. They're going to label it as isolated event, or because they don't have a lot of information, because the guy, quote unquote, blew himself up. They ain't going to have enough information to be like, well, he did this as a hate crime towards black people.
They can find some information. They're going to scan their computer, scan them phones, see where he been.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to look up his history. Right.
Yeah. And this is the thing, man. We live in an age where, social media, we live in an age where surveillance is very heavy. It's like they can tell where you're at from your cell phone, from your social media activity. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you try to be off grid, they can tell where you're at. They can tell what you're doing. They can tell what you're buying. You know what I'm saying? When you swipe the card you swipe your debit card at a local hardware store, they can tell where you're at and what you're buying. You know what I'm saying?
There's several different ways to tell where you at.
Exactly, and they quit to label a lot of black like some people on they call them black identity terrorists. They got this whole thing that Donald Trump administration is pushing, and the racist KKK Sergeant General in the White House now, pushing the black extreme terrorists. They quit to label black people who are black identity terrorists, but they don't really speak on white identity terrorists.
Right, and we don't even do shit. We not our business. We don't terrorize y'all.
Exactly, we really don't.
We terrorize each other.
We don't. Now, it's very similar to like how they, you remember the move. You remember the story about the move bombing back in the 80s?
It was in Philly, right?
Yeah, that was in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? And the police bombed Philadelphia. They're very restrictive on labeling a white person as a terrorist when they're dealing with bombing. Even when they're done dealing with bombing, even when they're dealing with shooting, they're very restrictive of telling that narrative or telling it what it is.
Do you think the police has something to do with this?
Very much so. Very much so. That's why the media coverage wasn't so heavy on it. That's why it wasn't even being covered on big news media. They were focused more on what Donald Trump probably tweeted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z and Beyonce going to Jamaica about to film a video. You know what I mean? When this should have been big news. You know what I mean? We in the age of Aquarius. Everybody is Conditt now, quote unquote. Everybody is woke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's waking up. But you saw very few news media outlets talk about this. What do you say to the fact that, the lack of media coverage, and why is that? Why was it there's lack of knowledge or lack of push for this story, before they caught the culprit, and I put that in quotations as well.
Well, the news has their own agenda. They have a script almost to follow. It's from a marketing standpoint. The fact that the news is so based off of how much money they make is just such a conflict of interest.
Yeah, it's a conflict of truth.
Yeah. So you have that aspect of it, and then you have the point that it's really most of the media, a large percentage of the media, and I'm talking about from music to radio to TV to some of everything, is controlled by a couple of people. So they want certain narratives to get out anyway. So, the news been on some bullshit. They not going to cover certain things. They're not quick to cover things that, make white men look in a certain way. They're careful on how they portray white men. And they're also not very concerned with how they treat black people.
Right.
So I think this is just the news. This is their MO. This is how they've operated for some time now, so I'm not surprised.
Another aspect pulled from this thing, like I think there was a explosion at a FedEx, due to one of the packages in Austin. One of the because I think generally, that's another thing. That's why I say I don't think this young 20-year-old did this, because they were able to deliver it to people's doors. That's how it exploded. Right. You know what I'm saying? They take a lot of level of sophistication to do that. Maybe this young man probably did do the bombing at the FedEx, but I don't know if he's doing the bombing at the people's homes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But as far as, and that's just my conspiracy thoughts and conjecture. I don't know the truth. But also, when you look at, but once that happened, they came out and said, well, we want to hear your story. They were reaching out, the news media was reaching out to the bomber, trying to get him to come in to tell them, figure out why he's doing it and what's going on, what he's doing it for, and try to get him to come out and speak. And it made me realize, y'all could have been did this. Y'all could have been doing a lot of stuff. Like I said, they got surveillance all over the fucking place. You know what I'm saying? You got border control. I was watching something on Hate Thy Neighbor. It was about border patrol. I ain't finished watching it. But they got a dude over there who spent $1 million of his own money to create drones and motion detectors and sensors and all these different gadgets that he himself can do. And this is an old 70-year-old, 60-year-old, 80-year-old man doing it, right? Like, if you pinpoint who's coming in his land 100 acres away.
Lord.
Off of, you know what I'm saying? Off of his own money to be able to do that. And the government wouldn't buy it for him, so they didn't take, because they have even more advanced technology to do that. So they have advanced technology than what this man had, but I can't pinpoint where this guy who's bombing these folks are.
Right.
Something tell me that this person who's probably really behind the bombings or probably pushing the bombing is somebody that's like ex-military trained, you know,
somebody
ex-government trained, somebody that know about bombs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And somebody that know about bombs. You know, that it'll probably affect the conflict of interest with, you know, the government or the FBI or whoever organization. And that's probably why they put in this story out that this young man did it. Or they probably felt like they caught the right guy, but it's probably a totally different isolated incident where he actually was involved with the FedEx bombing and not the same bombing. It's not from the same bomb. Like, I don't know the story. I'm not an investigator of the story, so I don't know. But, you know, that's why we need more black media, black independent media, you know, to the point where, you know, you got people in Austin talking to the families, you know, the victims of this bombing incident, or people who actually know the energy or in the energy or in the facility of Austin and able to talk to the community and, you know, get information on it. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. But everything's just kind of unfolding. I mean, at least to the public, ain't no telling what else they know. But yeah, it's just definitely something to keep watch of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we definitely gotta keep watch of it. It's scary. It's scary, but at the same time, there was another incident in you know, Black Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? And you got this. Do you think it's kind of interesting that this happening right after? Because these incidents, when black people start feeling themselves a little bit, these little incidents pop up. These little incidents of attacks towards black people or black communities. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like for instance, you could say that this incident, these are prominent black families who lives in prominent black homes. You know, not prominent black neighborhoods, but you know, wealthy neighborhoods, and it's probably like trying to push black people outside of those neighborhoods, trying to keep them out.
Right.
It's probably a fear tactic. It's a terroristic attack. This is terrorism. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for them to not to really push that narrative or even talk to that narrative is kind of the movie.
I mean, they just don't treat it the same when it's us. That's just period, point blank. They just don't. You know, and stuff always happen to us. Like stuff always be happening. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's necessarily because of. Were you trying to say that because of the success of Black Panther, they're now starting to retaliate in some way?
Well, no, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying it's always interesting that every time black people start feeling themselves a little bit, you know, feeling prideful about themselves, we ain't waking up. We're kind and, you know, we're excited about our, you know, prideful about our blackness a little bit more now. You know, we get more pride in it. And it's causing people to react. It's causing people to be fearful of that. You know what I'm saying? And people are starting to retaliate against that or act out against that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the bomb, you know, the movement. Same thing with, you know, Black Wall Street and other Black Wall Streets thereafter, where black people start having more pride and start trying to focus on building themselves. Like, I know they're trying to build a Black Wall Street in Texas somewhere, probably within Austin. You know? I
mean, there's definitely truth to that. You know, whenever black people start to rise in all kind of ways, you know, white people to angry white mobs to the white government to some of everybody take part in making sure we don't get too far up, making sure we don't be happy for too long. Like, what they doing? Somebody show them who they really is. That's what they like to do. So I can definitely see that aspect of it as well. But I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, I do feel race is definitely up in there. Like, definitely. You know, I'm just ready to figure out who this guy is. You know, I know, you know, That's one thing. The news is never going to tell you the whole story.
The whole story.
They're never going to let the whole story get out. But I am interested in the story.
I am too. I'm interested. We have to sit on it and see what happens from it. But I hope, if this is the culprit, that he is, he can no longer hurt nobody else. I don't give a fuck who, if it's white, black, or anybody. I hope he don't hurt nobody else. You know what I'm saying? They caught him.
That makes you. That's like nobody want to get no bomb package. They're like,
for real,
I know if I was in Austin, I would not even be checking the mail.
I would. That's, man. Hey, there's a bomb on the front step, but shit, it'll stay right there.
I bet y'all gotta send all my stuff P.O. Box. Like, I get all my mail from the post office, all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I wouldn't be taking no mail.
None. But hell no. I was thinking the same thing. Like, I would have a P.O. box. You gotta send everything there. You know what I mean? It's shit. They could have just said one bomb happened. I would P.O. box. That's where we're going.
Right.
But yeah, man, you just gotta be careful out here, man. Cause people out here, man, there's people with terroristic mindsets, and a lot of them are white, homegrown terrorists. And constantly, black people are always being terrorized constantly, all the time. You know what I'm saying? And the media never gonna speak to it. That's why we have to be able to speak our own, have our own media outlets. That's why we have to start telling our narrative, telling our stories. You know what I'm saying? Speaking from what the fuck we're going through, but they're not gonna speak from it for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But anything else on this, cuz, man?
Nope.
I think we're gonna cover it as much as we could. But let us know what y'all think, man. How y'all feel about this? Leave a comment in the comment section. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Don't be stingy with it. Share it with your mama and your cousin too. Until next time. Peace.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is, the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is, the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.